Lad eyes and genital men. Welcome to episode 6, season 2 of Fortnightly Frontier. This is where you're supposed to write the intro part here and introduce your co-host, Dianator.
So why don't you do that?
I just did.
Woo!
Oh, what the hell? Tonight, Star Citizen takes a backseat as we discuss space games at E3.
Indeed. Nothing really of interest has come out from the developers of Star Citizen, except maybe the Scythe Q&A, the link of which you can check out in the description below the video.
Below the video.
Below the video. In the
It's
video.
info. I keep calling it description. It's not really description anymore. It's info.
Well, it's a doobly-doo.
The doobly-doo.
The doobly-doo.
The information section descriptor.
Indeed.
What?
Can you tell that we're stalling?
Are we?
Oh, a bit.
I'm
yes.
just rambling.
It's been slow.
Yeah, it's
to
been
put
a
it-
couple of weeks for Star Citizen.
Yes, everybody's doing their best to bring us the first-person module, which has to be as polished as is possible for an alpha, but
Yeah,
not
exactly.
so buggy that it is completely unplayable.
Yeah, I mean, even last week when we spoke to James Pugh, there wasn't a hell of a lot to talk about with Star Citizen. If you haven't seen that episode, by the way, clicky the doobly-doo below.
Yes, exactly, and hopefully more episodes like this will be coming in the future as we get more people from CIG on the show.
Yes, and possibly more people from the community as well.
Exactly, yes. Speaking of the first-person module and the community, here is your chance to be on the show. In the, what we call the doobly-doo, we'll be posting a link to an online poll. When do you think the first version of the first-person module will be hitting? It won't be very precise, not the exact date, but just pick the week of
Yes.
2015 that you think that the first-person module will be landing, and if you win, you just might get on the show. Well, you probably definitely will get on the show.
Yeah, but what happens if we get multiple people? Maybe we should do it that you can't pick a week that's already been picked, and then we don't have to deal with that.
No, I think
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out, yes.
There'll be some information.
It's just like the rest of the show, it's very fluid
And uncontrolled.
and uncontrolled, and basically we have no idea what the hell we're talking about. So, back to E3, I suppose?
Yes, E3. There was some intros. Some intros? What? Some demos at E3.
Some trailers, some gameplay
trailers.
footage for quite a few space games coming out. Do you think that by any chance Star Citizen with its Kickstarter campaign, that's so many months ago, actually managed to jumpstart the genre again?
I think, yes, it was a part of it. I think there was already a resurgence in space games. But yeah, Star Citizen is certainly the biggest behemoth of that.
Yes, and we also have now No Man's Sky. The
that
Dangerous
looks-
is already out.
Yep. No Man's Sky will hopefully be quite interesting. At least the Explorer aspect of it looks kind of interesting. We'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of excited about it.
Oh yes, well the premise is very promising. Everything is going to be procedurally generated.
Yeah.
From solar systems to the planets themselves, the points of interest on the planets, the action in space.
All of the plants on the planet, all
Yeah.
of the animals.
Sort of
All
like
of the terrain
maybe
is just-
Spore meets Elite Dangerous.
Spore meets Elite Dangerous, but with procedural generation as opposed to... Actually, no, was Spore a lot of procedural generation?
Spore was the first majorly procedurally generated game.
I remember that they were taking animals that the community made in and...
Yes, but the editor is basically just procedural generation because you have very simple tools that you can create your creature with. And, all the textures, the behavior, the walking animations, everything, that was procedurally generated from the very clunky shape of the animal that you created, yeah.
Yeah, well, perhaps I should go and play that again, actually. It's been a long time. been a long time.
There's also been Ion and Adrift, and
Which I can't tell apart
yeah,
from memory. I can't tell the
from
difference.
memory. Adrift is apparently one of those games where it's like, what did I see the description of? It's like Gravity. You're Sandra Bullock from Gravity, but without George Clooney to help you.
And then the other one was, so there was Adrift, which is that, and then there was Ion.
Ion, which is a new game from the developer of DayZ. And from the very sparse and very open-ended trailer, it looks like it's a sort of very open space sim, but set in today's tech. Because there's space shuttles and the International Space Station, but you're also able to go all over the universe, or all over the galaxy at least.
I can tell them apart now, I think, but they're still mashed together in my brain. I'm going to have to go back and watch the intro. But you're talking about Dean Hall there, right?
I think so, yes.
So
I'm bad
the
with
creator
names.
of DayZ, not the
Current developer, no.
Yeah.
Yes, the creator of DayZ, yes.
Yeah,
Who
so
has
Dean
moved
Hall.
off.
Rocket
Yes.
from New Zealand.
Is he?
Yeah. I just thought I'd add
That must
in.
make your bosom swell with pride.
No, not really. Couldn't care less, actually. Well, I care a little bit because I don't actually care. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Yeah.
I'm actually very excited both for Adrift and No Man's Sky. Oh, and another one was Eve Valkyrie. That's a very exciting one because I always wanted to get into Eve. I loved the aesthetic and the storylines and all the different races, and it's so intricate, but at the same time the gameplay is so fucking boring. But this looks like it's going to allow you to become a pilot of a small fighter aircraft and not, and just get into the heart of action. It's not going to be just one spreadsheet fighting another spreadsheet like normal Eve combat is.
Yeah, but then you've got Star Citizen, which is going to be coming out probably early first quarter next year, maybe.
No, I'm kind of doubt that the whole game is going to be so early. I think we're looking at the holiday season 2016 at the earliest.
I still think they'll get what is effectively the final game out before, like early next year, and then you'll be playing that, and they'll be adding it and patching it and stuff. But that'll be the Persistence universe that stays. But anyway, we're gonna have Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, and Eve Valkyrie,
Yes.
which look like proper space games.
After about a decade of absolutely nothing,
Yeah.
apart from, say, Mass Effect, which was just a first-person game set in a sci-fi setting, which I wouldn't really qualify as a space game.
Yeah, exactly. But there's too many. If you just boil it down to the open world explorer trading type, you have Star Citizen,
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous, and No Man's Sky. And I'm not sure what Eve Valkyrie is going to be like with regards to that.
I think it's just going to be maybe sort of like the old Wing Commander-esque type of thing, where you're just a single player following a campaign from the race that you chose, and then you just go fight in missions that are predetermined. It's not going to be open.
Okay.
It's not going to be a MMO.
These open games, the problem
Yeah.
with them is that they take an awful lot of your time to do stuff, and like doing a trade run will be a couple of hours or whatever, and this is going to be a problem for people who want to play all of them.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try and focus on one or two, so probably No Man's Sky and Star Citizen, of course.
I think that No Man's Sky is going to be a bit more of a relaxed sort of thing.
Possibly, yeah.
It's doesn't seem to be very simulation oriented. Quite arcadey flight module, and sort of casual gameplay sort of type of exploration, not very gritty, in-depth simulation like Star Citizen is aiming to be.
Yeah, which is why I put that at the top of my list as being my second big space game, basically, because of that. It looks like it can be more relaxed. It looks like I don't have to go into combat. I can just go and explore, and I'll always find something new that no one else has found. It's never really going to be a problem to do that, so...
That would be fun, yeah. Because unlike Elite Dangerous, which has the entire Milky Way galaxy for you to explore, there is absolutely nothing to do that I found.
Do some trade runs?
Just trade runs, and maybe some bounty hunting, but that is basically the same everywhere. Basically, what you do is find a location, find the beacon, get out of whatever it's called, frameshift drive, and point your guns at the ship and collect the bounty. That's it.
Yeah.
There isn't really much variety. I know a lot of people who have already sold their Elite Dangerous accounts because they found it so boring. I'm still holding on to mine, hoping there will be more gameplay added eventually, so I can justify the money that I spend on it. But as it is right now, it's just sitting on my shelf.
Yeah, it seems like they really just didn't have enough money to get it.
And I think that they released it too early.
But I don't think they had a choice. I think they needed to get the money in to stop the company from collapsing, basically.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
It's slightly disappointing.
But then you look at it, how much budget did they really have? Was it like 2 or 4 million?
I have no idea, but it wasn't very much.
No, Star Citizen has 84 million now.
Yeah.
And that is what gives them the
platform.
The insurance of
they can complete.
They can complete the game. Yes, they don't have to pull risky moves.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas in the case of Elite Dangerous, it certainly looks like that. Yeah. And it's a shame. I think maybe with I guess if they had like 5 million, I guess another 5 would have really added a lot to that game.
And unfortunately, they didn't. I hope that eventually they do get the money and add a lot more content to the game, because it has a lot of potential and I want to play it. I think the actual ship mechanics are a lot nicer than Star Citizen's.
At the moment?
At the moment, yeah. Especially when it comes to landing in space stations. A lot more natural, a lot more fluid.
Yeah. I would probably agree with that.
But there's just nothing to do, and every space station looks like the next.
Every space station looks the same. Every
sort
planet
of. There's 4
same.
types. From what I've seen, there's literally 4 types of space stations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, I mean, I guess Cloud Imperium Games will probably spend more on developing a single
solar system
than
I think that is where they went wrong, because Elite Dangerous is the entire Milky Way galaxy, which is millions of star systems.
Yeah.
With very sporadic gameplay elements. And Star Citizen, they said they will be like a isolated pocket of 100 solar systems or so.
Yeah.
With much more dense, compacted gameplay, which I think from the start I kind of thought that was the wrong choice to make. Because, more is always better. But no, I've changed my mind. I think quality over quantity is what will prevail.
And it has to be fun. And Chris is really getting that balance of fun and realism right.
Yeah.
Elite Dangerous is, well, how long can it take you to get between 2 systems in Elite Dangerous?
I've traveled up to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, space truckers, yo.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so...
for people who like Euro Truck Simulator 2 and are also into sci-fi, do check out Elite Dangerous. It's right up your alley.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's that is not going to be for everyone. That is going to be kind of annoying for most people, I think. And taking that out is actually a good thing. It frees it up to make it more about the combat, the exploration, the trading, instead of it being about the sitting there waiting to arrive at your destination.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here's hoping that Star Citizen Persistent Universe is going to be much, much better. And much more exciting, at least.
Oh, yeah. So what other games were there?
Oh, a lot of other games that I really can't remember at this moment.
No, I can't remember either. Oh, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes, that thing.
That thing?
That thing.
We briefly discussed this before the show, but that in-engine footage, that quote there, it's never ever going to look like that on a PS4. And even on a PC, it's going to struggle.
Yeah.
If it looks anything like that, I would be surprised. And this, again, I've seen this time and time again with games where they look amazing at E3 in like actual in-engine footage.
Yes, but in-engine footage does not equate to real-time footage, does it?
Exactly. So, fuck you, developer.
But at the same time, it really has me hyped up because even though that sort of visual fidelity won't be in the final product, they did manage to capture the whole look and feel of Star Wars. Even the AT-ATs, whatever they're called,
AT-AT,
yeah. AT-ATs, they managed to look animatronic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I applaud them for that.
But then that was just a rendered scene, basically.
It was, yes, it was a cinematic.
So whether it looks like that when you're actually playing it or not is another question. You're buying into the hype because they're producing this really amazingly rendered, amazing looking, everything's perfect in it. And you're buying into the hype.
I am buying into the hype. However, I am a proud member of Total Biscuit family, and our motto is, we do not pre-order. Apart from Star Citizen.
But we didn't pre-order Star Citizen.
No.
We
invested.
Paid for it.
No, we invested in it,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's call it investing. We can justify it that way.
Yes, but I've actually decided that I will not pre-order a single game from now on. I will wait even up to several months and study the reviews and gameplay footage and let's plays carefully before I decide to buy a game.
Yes, and
I will get all excited and hyped up, but I have made my decision.
And I will stick with my rule of not buying a game unless it's under €10, except for Star Citizen.
Yes, because you've spent all your money on Star Citizen.
Basically, yeah. Anyway, no hype used today because there really isn't an awful lot to go over.
No, like we said, well, maybe, did we mention this before? The Scythe Q&A?
Yes,
we mentioned that, yes.
Yeah.
Check the description. Nope. What did I?
Info.
What? No. Check the link
The
in the
doobly-doo.
doobly-doo. Yes.
Yep, check that
thing. I'm drunk.
And that's it for this episode of Fortnightly Frontier. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and whatever else there is. Check us out on Twitter,
Everything
Facebook,
of the social medias.
the medias of social, yeah. And we'll see you where?
In the verse.